Once upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. No, Daniel, I am not going to sing Bonnie Tyler to you. About a year ago, my husband said to me, hey, there's going to be a total solar eclipse in the US next year. I reckon we should go. Being a supportive spouse, my response was, Trump, F that. But he argued, it's on my bucket list, and you know, they're very rare. Folks, nothing motivates a good Sydney hipster like hearing something is super exclusive. So we were going to that damn eclipse. The question was where? You know, hotels were already booking out 8 months in advance, and so we wanted to be under the path of totality. And that luckily was going to cross a wide portion of the US. But we didn't want to go to all the trouble and expense of getting there, of getting, cavity searched by the TSA, and then getting stuck in traffic on the day, or God forbid, having it be cloudy. So we ended up in the end going with my parents to the tiny middle of nowhere town of Douglas, Wyoming, which was not crowded. And the sky was thankfully clear. And yes, before you ask, I am in that photo wearing approved, legit, non-counterfeit eclipse glasses, which is why I'm standing in front of you now instead of blind in a courtroom somewhere suing Amazon.com. Now, about 10:30 in the morning, the moon started chomping its way across the sun like Pac-Man. They call that the partial eclipse phase. Lasts about an hour, not gonna lie, pretty boring. One of the ways we passed the time was to fashion a sort of pinhole camera out of a pair of binoculars and a piece of card. That was fun for like 30 seconds. That allowed us to track the moon's movement without taking our glasses off and on. Pro tip, if you see an eclipse in an area with trees, the leaves will form natural pinholes and cast little mini eclipses all over the ground, which is very cool. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, we were in middle of nowhere, Wyoming, with no trees anywhere, so I had to find this picture on the internet. Now, it was only in the last 10 minutes things started getting weird. Like the sky took on this very pink quality, like sunset, and the temperature dropped noticeably. I saw some very confused cows in the field nearby lying down to go to sleep. And the sun was just a little sliver now, and I peered through my glasses as the crowd behind me began to chant down to the moment of totality, 3, 2, 1, and then everything went dark, and I looked around confused for a moment before I realized, oh, dumbass, this is the part you have to take your glasses off to see. So I took them off and I gasped. It was amazing. On one hand, it was exactly what I expected, like it looked like something out of a movie or the Heroes TV show. But it was also way more breathtaking because it was real and it was happening right in front of us. So we had 2 minutes and 30 seconds to ooh and ah and point. And we wrestled with the eternal question of whether to be noble and just experience a thing or whether to be those people and try and take a selfie with the thing. And of course, we tried to take selfies with the thing, but cell phone cameras just don't do it justice. The colors are wrong. Like the moon is so tiny, the sun is so tiny there, and in real life, it was huge. But then, before we knew it, a tiny bit of the sun peeked around behind the moon. And they call that the wedding ring, the diamond ring effect for obvious reasons. And that was pretty much the end. The moon still takes another hour to get across, but within 10 minutes it was light again. People started packing up. Our eclipse was effectively over. I totally get, by the way, why primitive people lost their shit over this. It was scary. It was weird. I definitely had an urge to bang a drum and sacrifice the nearest virgin. And now you all want to know how you can see one too. Lucky for you, they're not actually that rare. Total solar eclipses happen about once every 18 months on Earth, just not always in the same spot. And there are even more partial eclipses, but trust me, partial equals shit. It's total eclipse or nothing, okay? And fortunately for us, there are going to be 8 of them over Australia in the next 100 years, including one that will pass smack dab over Sydney on July 22nd, 2028. That's right, you have 11 years to plan the eclipse party to end all eclipse parties. I reckon you should order your glasses right now so you get the good ones. You're not stuck looking through crappy pieces of plastic like these Sydney uni students in 1948 who are all, let's agree, blind. You'll also want to start planning your Instagram shots now. Imagine getting the diamond ring with the Opera House or the Sydney Harbour Bridge in the background. P.S. You know how it's really annoying when people camp out for New Year's Eve? This is going to be a million times worse. And while I can't yet see a weather forecast for 2028, July is traditionally the driest month, so I reckon we got a pretty good chance of having clear skies. So I'm calling it Eclipse BBQ, my house in Chippendale, 2028. I'll see you all there. Oh, one more thing. Turn around, bright eyes.